Hey, Pastor and Director of Christian Education, Director of Discipleship. It's Dr. C. Let's talk impact. Listen, when we think about discipleship and our mandate to make disciples, there are challenges. Let me just say that again. There are challenges for all congregations. And so today, I want to share with you four common challenges to transformative discipleship. And again, if this is not an admission that you failed at anything, just understand the challenges. And when we understand the challenges, we can then address them. So let's just jump in. So the first challenge to transformative discipleship is the pitfall of non-systematized discipleship. No systems, no activities without some type of framework. So listen, oftentimes discipleship happens in spurts. There's a Bible study here, there's a small group there, but without some kind of consistent, cohesive plan, we don't have a system. We lack consistency, and when there is no system, spiritual growth is inconsistent. Defining our progress, gosh, it lacks. Discipleship, scalability from one ministry to another, or even reaching the larger congregation is limited. And definitely evaluating our effectiveness becomes extremely difficult. And if you're not careful, resources are used inefficiently. But can I tell you that this challenge can be overcome by simply creating a system for making disciples, being intentional about making systems for discipleship. Then the second challenge to transformative discipleship is the fragility of key person dependence, depending on only a few. Question: what happens when your star leader moves away or that key volunteer burns out? Too many times, our whole discipleship program is based on one or a few. You know the ones, let whosoever will come. Listen, when we depend on a few, then we put our programs at risk. When programs are dependent on only a few, discipleship is vulnerable to loss. Leaders get burned out. The leadership pipeline is limited. Church growth potential is restricted, and there is a resistance to change. Again, this challenge can be overcome simply by building more leaders within the congregation. The third challenge to transformative discipleship is the illusion of knowledge transfer, head knowledge versus heart change. Listen, we can teach biblical knowledge, but are we truly seeing, rather, transformed lives? How do we know if our discipleship efforts are producing lasting fruit? Without clear metrics for spiritual growth, we're essentially flying in the blind. Listen, when we're under this illusion that knowledge transfer changes hearts, knowledge increases, but lives don't change. The simple biblical applications, they lack practicality. Individuals begin to focus on knowledge over spiritual growth, and the impact of relationships, or the impact on relationships and our witness, is limited. And those behavioral adjustments that we expect to see, they're just superficial. But we can overcome this challenge by emphasizing that the intent of all of our teaching, the intent of all of our training, is to change our hearts. And the fourth challenge is the absence of a clear outcome or clear pathways to discipleship. Listen, many churches lack a clear definition of what a mature disciple looks like. I'll say that again. Many churches don't have an idea, a set idea of what a matured disciple looks like. Without a defined goal and a clear pathway to that goal, people began to wonder, and we start doing everything, and we find ourselves away. When there is no clear pathway to discipleship, members don't see direction and don't see purpose in any discipleship program. The expectations for growth are inconsistent. Resources are used inefficiently. They're allocated for everything but what the main purpose is, and that's discipleship. And measuring discipleship or measuring the success of our discipleship program becomes very difficult. And at the end of the day, members become frustrated and discouraged with the whole process. But you can overcome this challenge by developing a clear pathway from new disciple to growing disciple to a matured leader. Listen, there's always a challenge. As the needs become greater, so become the challenges, but they can be overcome if we address them. Again, acknowledging that there are challenges, that we have challenges, is not an admission of failure, but to fail to address those challenges can be the detriment of our ministry. And so listen, let's grab a hold, let's work together, let's change these challenges, let's make disciples as we were assigned to do. This has been Dr. Seymore with Let's Talk Impact.